Good morning, each and everyone. Today we are going to understand file handling in C language. Subtopic is efficient data storage and retrieval in C. This is the topic from operating system, and this topic is in MCA first semester subjects programming in C with data structure. So we are going to start now. First of all, we want to see what is the definition of file handling. Why we use file? File actually used to store, retrieve, and manipulate data on secondary storage, like hard disk. Means why we create file, because if we want to store data for later use, or if you want to retrieve some data from the file or secondary storage like hard disk, so we have to prepare, we have to create file. And if we are going to create file, so we have to understand and we have the knowledge about how to handle files. So first of all, we understand that why use files. Data persistent beyond program execution, large data storage, and easy data sharing between programs. There are two types of files. First one is text file that store data in human readable form. Example, txt file or doc file or xls file. And second type is binary file that store data that is readable in machine form. That is binary format. Example, date or win extension files. We can do following operations in C on files. First of all, we have to create a file. Then after creating a file, we have to open a file to retrieve data from the file. And when we open a file, we can either store data or either read data. So first one operation is read from a file, and next operation is write to a file, and the last one is close a file. Means when we create file in C, we have to perform these five operations. Create a file, open a file, read from a file, write to a file, and close a file. File opening modes are, first is R mode. R mode stands for read. But if we want to read a file, there must be a file to which we want to read. Second mode is W, that is write. And this mode, if we open file in this write mode, then we can write or overwrite the file. The next mode is A. A stands for append. Append means if we want to add data in already existing files, then the mode will be A. Next mode is R plus. R plus mode stands for read and write both. And next is W plus. This read and overwrites the file. And read and append mode is A plus mode. These are the mode in which we open file and do the operation. File handling functions are fopen function is for opening a file, fclose, close a file, fprintf means when we write data into a file, then we use fprintf function. And when we read data from a file, then we use fscanf function. And we have also fgets function that read a string from a file, and fputs function that write a string to a file. Read binary data, and fwrite is used to write binary data. Here is one example how to open a file in write mode and write data in the file. Here first line is, so first of all we have to write standard input output file. Then we open main function. Then we open a pointer fp, that a file type. And in this pointer, we open a file that name is data.txt in write mode. And we check if file pointer is null, that means file is not going to open, means address was not returned. So if we get null, then we have to write a message that error opening file. And if data.txt file gets open, then the pointer will be returned and we will say just we have printed a message file handling in C, that is only to show that that file has opened, and then we close the file and return 0. And if we want to read something from the file, then we have to open file in read mode. And same, if we get null in returning, then we print while not found. And if we return address of that file, then we take the data from the file pointer, means where our file is stored, and that data will get, and we print buffer and we close the file. Some error occurs when we open a file or when we write in file. So always we have to check fopen function that returns null. If fopen function returns null, that means file is not opened. And we can use p-error function on str-error function for detailed error messages and fclose function to close the file. Advantages of file handling: we can store permanent data, we can easily data sharing, we can do easily data sharing, and large data handling capability is done through file, and structured data management can be done through file. And last is the summary. File handling in C is done using file pointers and standard library functions. And file handling supports text and binary files. Always handle errors and close file properly. And thank you.